Hey, welcome to the Central Archive in the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum Library. I'm Craig Muter, Director of Communications for the Hall of Fame. Tom Schieber, our Senior Curator, is with me, and we're talking Pittsburgh Pirates baseball today, Tom. You know, the Pirates were just eliminated from the playoffs after a wonderful season.
Yeah.
The history of that franchise is unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely. And, finally breaking through with getting past the 500 mark for the first time since, what year was that? The 92?
1992.
So it's been a long time, but they did awesome this year.
Yeah, and in the library here, we have some artifacts from the Pirates franchise, including one that talks about a World Series appearance that never happened.
That's right. We've got this beautiful World Series program from 1938, 75 years ago. Look at that. The cover art is, honestly, it's my favorite graphic in World Series program history. It's fantastic. 1938 World Series, Pirates, Yankees. But as you noted, there's one problem with this. The Pirates didn't play the Yankees in the 1938 World Series.
So yeah, where are the Cubs here? It was a Cubs-Yankees World Series that year, but why is this program mocked up like that?
Well, actually, if you take a look on the inside, you'll see there's lots of blank pages. There's lots of content here, or graphics and text, but they had not filled in advertisements. They hadn't filled in a lot of the content. But they had mocked it up because, going into the end of the 38 pennant race, the Cubs and the Pirates were vying for who was going to represent the National League in the World Series. And it was so close going into the very end of the season that both teams had to mock up World Series programs because they're not going to have enough time, given the short amount of time between the end of the season and the beginning of the World Series, to put together a World Series program. So they have to prepare ahead of time, even if they might not make the World Series.
Well, yeah, I know the Pirates led the National League for most of the 38 season and then started collapsing at the end, whereas the Cubs got really hot.
That's right. So going into that game of September 28th, the Cubs had won 18 of their previous 22 games, and one of those was a tie, actually. So, they were very hot. The Pirates had gone, since the very beginning of September, they'd gone at about a 500 clip. They were 11-11 and one tie. So the Pirates had definitely cooled off. The Cubs were on a winning streak as well. So entering that game, things weren't boding particularly well for the Pirates. But then additionally, a lot of people know about the homer in the Gloman, the fact that Hartnett hit this walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs, very dramatic home run. One of the problems with that was that the Cubs had just a week earlier played in 4 straight doubleheaders. So their pitching staff was very taxed. They didn't want to have to play another doubleheader because if the home run had not been hit, the game would have been called because it was too dark to play on. So they would have had to play a doubleheader the next day. And so you've got these two teams that are vying for the pennant race. The Pirates are up by half a game. And an interesting thing happened in the second inning. The Cubs scored first. They got a run, but on 2 errors. So, if it hadn't been for that unearned run, Hartnett's home run just would have tied the game, and we still would have had the same problem, which is we would have had extra innings, but since they wouldn't have enough light for it, they would have had to play a doubleheader the next day. So you've got all sorts of problems going on with this game. It was actually quite an exciting ball game.
And you can tell it actually broke the Pirates' backs. After that, they lost 5 out of their last 6 games to finish the season in second place. Cubs took the pennant. But meanwhile, the Pirates' PR machine is ramping up. They're making this program, they're making press pins, they're making tickets, all these things for the World Series because they're preparing for the possibility it might happen.
That's right. And we actually have in our collection a number of what are called phantom objects, whether it's a phantom ticket or phantom press pin, or in this case, this phantom program, meaning that it actually was never used. It was prepared, but never used. And this one actually was partially prepared because they didn't finish this. But the phantom press pin for the Pirates in 38, beautiful little pirate logo. The ticket is ready to go in case it's the American League against the National League at Forbes Field. So they were prepared for that, but ultimately they weren't used.
And this is something that's still happening today, but yet we're documenting it 75 years ago.
You still get a little bit of this phenomenon because even in today's world where we can do things at a quicker pace, you still have to prepare ahead of time to some extent. And sometimes when you prepare ahead of time, it doesn't pan out, but you've got to do that.
Well, this was a case where the Pirates season fell a little short. This season fell a little short for the Bucks, but what a wonderful campaign, breaking the 20-year losing streak. We're going to document it here in the Hall of Fame, I'm sure. Thanks for joining us here in the Stacks at the Hall of Fame. Check out more information online at baseballhall.org.